This tutorial is going to look at using the Read and Write for Google extension in the Chrome browser. With this extension, when you are looking at web pages, you can use features such as text-to-speech, the dictionary, collect highlights, and create vocabulary lists. Now, in order to use Read and Write for Google within the Chrome browser, you need to ensure that you are signed into Chrome. So if I go over here in the corner of my Chrome browser, it says Carla. That means I am signed in. If you are not signed in at all, it will say sign in, and you can simply click on it and you'll be prompted to sign in. You do need to sign in with your G-Sacred Google account. And if it says somebody else's name, simply click on the name and you'll be prompted to switch person, where you can sign in as yourself. So once you are signed in to Chrome, and it also is beneficial to sign into your Google Drive account as well, you will notice whenever you are on a web page that there is this little purple icon inside the web bar. Now that is the Read and Write for Google icon. When I click on it, a floating toolbar appears. You can simply move that floating toolbar to a more appropriate space. This is the Read and Write for Google toolbar. Likewise, when you're using it with docs, you can simply hover over the icons to let them tell you what they are. So the first icon is hover speech, which means wherever my mouse is, that's where it's going to begin to read. So if I am a student and I want to use Read and Write for Google to have web pages read aloud, that may be one of the features I like to use. So I can simply have that button selected, and I can just click or even hover my mouse, and it will begin to read aloud. So I'll just press pause. Likewise, I also have my settings button where I can speed up or slow down the voice. Additionally, if I do not want to use that hover speech button, I can just press stop. You'll notice how some of these other buttons are grayed out right now. I do need to deselect that hover speech button in order for the other buttons to be active. I can likewise select text and press read. So I'll just stop that. So that is using the read aloud feature. Just like we looked at inside Google Docs, you can also, again, if I have a word that I'm unsure of the meaning, I can click on the dictionary, or you can notice there's a speaker icon beside it to have it read aloud. Okay, and I'll just stop that, and I'll just close that window. Likewise, there's also the picture dictionary, again to aid in comprehension for students. And there's quite a few other nice features about using Read and Write for Google for research tools. So let's start with looking at the highlighting tools. So not only can we highlight on a web page, but we can actually collect these highlights. So I'm just going to go over here where I have some key facts, and I'm going to highlight these. So these ones are all kind of related. I'll keep them in blue, and again, I might put here another. I'm going to highlight that one. I'll do that one in green. And again, let me just see here. I'll highlight one more sentence, and I'll do that in a different color. So say, for example, a student is doing some research for a project. They use these highlighting tools. So now here, where they have the arrows, this is the Collect Highlights tools. I can click on this Collect Highlights. It asks me how to sort them. So this time I do want to sort them by color. You have some options as well by position. And I'm going to choose all the colors, and I'm going to click on OK. So what happens is in a new tab, a Google Doc is opened up. Now this Google Doc is automatically saved to my Google Drive account, and it has my highlights sorted in here by color. And it also, you'll notice down here at the bottom, has the link to the page where I found that information. So again, another great way when you're teaching students to create reference lists is to keep track of where they've kept their information. Now by default, it's called Highlights Untitled, so it's always a good idea to tap on that name and give that a new name. Okay, so again, I can just close that. It'll automatically be saved into my Google Drive account. So what I'm going to do now here is I'm just going to clear my highlights just so that I can show you a few other features. So another feature with the highlighting tools is again creating the vocabulary list. So again, I might put the word endangered, and these do likewise when you're using them inside a Google Doc, you do have to have separate highlights, and they can be the same color, but again, you just want different highlights and words that are individually highlighted. And then I'm going to click on this vocabulary lookup. So I can click on that. And likewise, a new Google Doc is created in a new tab. Here, again, we have the word, the meaning, the symbol, and a spot for your notes. And again, this Google Doc is saved directly into your Google account. Again, it's vocabulary list untitled, so again, it's just a good idea to tap on it and give it a new name. And again, it'll be automatically saved to your Google account, so I can just close that as well once I'm done for it. But again, great for study skills, great for research. And then last but not least, I'm just going to remove these highlights. Anytime that I'm on a web page here, you'll notice we have this Simplify Page icon. So I can click on this Simplify Page, and what it does is it opens up the text in a new tab in your Google Chrome, and it does get rid of some of the distracting content, but also up here I have simplify, plus, and minus. So again, this just uses an algorithm to get rid of text, but it can be beneficial for some students who that may benefit from just having a few pieces of information at a time. So again, you can simply plus and minus to use that. So this has been a short tutorial showing you how you can use Read and Write for Google on web pages using the Chrome browser.